It's become cliche for teenagers and young women of our generation to love Audrey Hepburn. For some reason, girls of the 90s grew up with an affinity for Hepburn to where it became, "Welcome to college, here's your breakfast at Tiffany's poster for your dorm room." That film is based on a dark novella in which Holly Golightly doesn't get her cat back, doesn't get the guy, and is generally a horrible person. But in the film, it's not even really clear that Hepburn plays a prostitute. The thing about Audrey Hepburn, she has darkness, but it isn't obvious. The problems of Marilyn Monroe became part of her legend, but Audrey's were carefully tucked away in a Givenchy handbag. What was her life like? Audrey Hepburn had an extraordinary, traumatic childhood and was a great actor, but never achieved all that she could have. Hepburn's parents were an English banker and a Dutch baroness. Both were fascists who split up before the Second World War began. Her mother took her from their home in Belgium to the Netherlands, seeking to avoid the fighting. Holland was promptly occupied by the Germans. Having been schooled in England, half British and fluent in English, Audrey had to adopt a Dutch persona, Ada van Heemstra, for the duration of the war. We can't blame the girl for becoming an actor, then it was forced on her. Another thing that was forced on her, along with the rest of the kids and most of the adults in Holland, was a lousy diet. In the latter part of the war, food supplies ran out, and like many others, Hepburn suffered from malnutrition, which led to acute anemia and respiratory problems. Such was the price of elegance. And yet, the story of Audrey Hepburn's early life really does have a legendary movie-like quality story. One of her brothers was a prisoner in a Nazi labor camp. As children, starving, they watched railway wagons go by full of children also starving. Audrey, still a teenager, danced to raise money for the Dutch resistance. These things created a strong character, something many actors never got around to acquiring. And it paid off when, shooting a small role in another movie, she was offered the lead role in the stage musical of Colette's Gigi. This was always Hepburn's world. She was the daughter of a baroness, duh. But it was Breakfast at Tiffany's which cemented her into it. The author of the piece, Truman Capote, wanted Marilyn Monroe to play the leading role, and given that Holly Golightly is both consummately sexy and utterly neurotic, Monroe might have done a great job. In any case, the studio, Paramount, favored Hepburn over Monroe, and that was that. She fought the Nazis. Growing up in the Netherlands during Nazi occupation proved to be a defining time in the life of Audrey Hepburn, and Robert Madsen wrote an entire book about it, Dutch Girl, Audrey Hepburn, and World War II. Hepburn's son, Luca Dotti, told Madsen, "The war made my mother who she was, while she was also studying ballet as a teenager." In a 2019 article for Time, Madsen quote Hepburn describing how she danced in underground concerts to raise money for the Dutch resistance movement. The recitals were given in houses with windows and doors closed, and no one knew they were going on. Afterward, money was collected and given to the Dutch underground. Madsen also said for 15-year-old Hepburn smuggling food to an Allied fighter pilot whose plane had crashed, she was able to avoid detection because the German police considered her to be safe. She's truly an inspiration for all the women out there and all the young girls. She's like an idol for everyone. Thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more videos on our channel, and we'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye.